Hello, it's Chris again. This is one man and his quad, and this is a walk round of my Polaris Sportsman 570. Hope you're doing okay. It's May here in the UK. It's not as great as it has been. Apologies if there's a load of wind noise in the background. I can't do much about that, unfortunately. Well, we'll do our best. We'll have a look at the quad today. As you can see, for those who have tuned into the channel and maybe seen the last video where we were doing a bit of green laning, the quad has changed colour and is now a lovely orange colour. I will explain more about that in a second as we go around the quad, but let's make a start at the front of the vehicle. And the first thing you see is that bumper there. That is a Polaris Farm and Ranch bumper, so it's an official Polaris part. With those, we've got the spotlights from Mike Tuning, which are wired directly into the battery, so I've got to remember to make sure the switch is off on the dash when I come to leave it at night. There has been a couple of times where I've had to dig out the battery charger when I've come to next use it because some idiot has left the lights on. Hidden away now, and it used to be right out the front on a receiver, which was a temporary sort of measure, is our winch, our Rhino winch. I think it's £4,500 winch. I'll just double check the sticker on the other side. It is correct, and that's directly wired again into the ignition of the quad. I may stick an isolator switch on that in the future, but that's that. It could have been very useful actually. It's got the plasma rope on it instead of the steel rope, so nice and light, hence I went for the extra capacity. I'm going to open up the front of this quad. Don't think there's much to talk about in there. A few bits of debris. You'll wonder why I've done that. I did try rising it with a kit off eBay. It really didn't work. I mean, you just got to ask Lloyd and the gang at OHG how badly that didn't work. But we'll pop that down there for now, and we'll talk no more about that. Been data tagged as standard. The ignition switch has been moved because we have the ROX Speed Effects rise kit. I think it's about a 2 or a 3 inch rise on the handlebars. So those there with the ROX logo on the black pieces of metal, and the Fat Boy bars go with that, so it just lifts the handlebars up. So hence why our ignition key has been shifted from dash to the position that's usually found, I think, on the scrambler. Dash is all pretty standard. We've gone for the one rear mirror. It did come with 2. I've got the Omi grips because personally I like them. They're a lot softer than the factory grips on the Polaris. I just found, you know, if you're doing a lot of hard work and you're getting on and off the bike and your hands are getting dry, they're a lot softer, a lot kinder to your hands at the end of a hard day's work. Standard mobile phone holder there for whatever you want to use your mobile phone whilst riding, usually for maps of course. 12 volt there, which is a couple of USB sockets. We can pick that up there on camera. There we go. Over this side we've got the winch control there. Winch has also got 2 remote controls with it. The nice thing about these Rhino winches, the kit that comes as standard with them is just brilliant. I mean, not the most expensive winches in the world, but the extras you get are just fantastic. And controls for the work light and the 2 mic tuning spots. Also the work light slightly changed, as you can see, with the handlebar modification. I'll just try and get that in focus. There we go. With the handlebar modification, the original light pad wouldn't fit back on, so that is an eBay special. I think it's been based on the KTM Enduro bikes. It looked pretty cool, especially against the black and orange scheme. The sort of official one man in his quad details knocked up. As you can see, the orange paint, the plasti dip. I'll come back to that in a later video, what we're going to be doing. And that video had been filmed on the same day we did this one, except some numpty who's talking to you right now didn't realise that his SD card in his phone was corrupted, and saving it on his phone wasn't an option because he's using some Sony from about the year 2002. Never mind, we got some footage of me drilling a lot of holes in a lot of metal over a very short period of time. And I'll go through the footage as well and see if we've got anything usable, which I'll tag on the end of this montage. But enjoy a bit of music and enjoy a bit of drilling. So I've actually found some footage which we took on the GoPro type thing. It's the Unreal Action cam. Unfortunately, the microphone is at the front, so basically I'm talking away from the microphone. So I'm sort of narrating over the top of this and having a slight guess at what I was saying. I can just about pick it up on the original audio, but it wasn't very good to put on the YouTube video. So what I'm basically explaining is what we used to do this, and it's 48.3mm diameter scaffolding tube which I had lying around. All in all, the project has taken about 1.5 meters worth. I'll try and remember to put the length of the tubes used, but it's roughly around sort of 30 by 30 centimeters what we've used on this project, and I'll try and keep up with the focus on the camera of what I'm zooming into, but I can't guarantee it. So what you see in front of you is basically a 30 by 30 frame of scaffolding tubes and suitable fixings which were found on the metal store .co.uk, and they provide all the things you need to do this project with, including the clamps. What I used was the short tees for the middle section there, and at the bottom there is a clamp which is a reducing clamp. Now it's done by a company called Interclamp. If you go on the metalstore.co.uk website, go to Interclamp and scroll down to the bottom, you will see about the third line from the bottom a section for reducing clamps, and that is a reducing crossover which I was originally going to put and fix to the frame, on the metal frame on the back of the quad bike, but it doesn't quite work that way. Unfortunately, when I got them, it wasn't what I expected. So instead of trying to search for something that was more suitable, I've used an aluminium box section, a 25mm aluminium box section there at the bottom. So that's the rectangular piece at the bottom. At the top, I know this is in no particular order, you'll notice there's no clamps, and that's because the budget didn't quite stretch, so we used 90-degree bends from sort of drainage. So for your water, your wastewater, they're 90-degree bends, so they're going to be around the sort of 40 to 45mm mark. I can't quite remember which. In fact, they're actually going to be a bit bigger, aren't they? So I'd say around 48mm 90-degree pipe fixing. Bit of rope to tidy it all up because it was a bit messy, and it's been coated in Raptor liner, which is brilliant stuff, absolutely great stuff, really hard wearing. What I would say with Raptor liner is you do follow the instructions on the can. It says spray between 60 and 90 centimeters away from what actually you're spraying, and on this I did. I've got to admit, I got more Raptor liner actually on the covering sheet that was on the ground to protect it from going black, rather than the actual product itself, and as a result the can only lasted one side each. So obviously the whole thing has been sprayed, so I had to dig out some black spray paint that I had lying around the garage to complete the project. But the overall looks good, and if you can get the Raptor liner on well enough, one can just do it. It is a bit pricey though, it's a bit more pricey than regular truck bed liner, but hopefully it will last. So that's that, and in the next shots you're going to see them attached to the actual bike itself. No real changes really at the back, pretty much straight out the factory. As you can see, I've detailed the wheels, make them look a bit more off-roady. That is what we're going to be talking about in a later video. I'm not quite sure what order they're going to come out in, but that will get either a mention in the video after or the video before. You might have seen what we're doing with that and why we're doing it. Around the side, not a lot again going on, but obviously on both sides we've got the rocks, foot pegs, the foot risers, just to suit the position of the higher bars. And personally, it was just personal preference on riding. I mean, Some people may find it comfortable. I've had someone who sat on this machine. He got a Honda, and he says these are comparably. I've had someone who sat on this machine, and he's got a Honda, and he says in comparison these are quite wide. So you know, you may want to modify your riding position. I've taken the cover, by the way, off the belt area there. There was an external plastic cover which sits flush to the orange. That's come away just to give me better access under there, because the thing with these Polarises is they do catch a lot of dirt in the frame, and when you come to wash them, yeah, you get all the external dirt off, but dust and stones and goodness knows what ends up trapped in the frame, so it's always good to have some access to it. And talking of the frame, we'll just go down here. You'll see the battery there. Now, any Polaris owners will know that is not the battery that came with the bike. I've had all sorts of problems with the battery that came with the bike, and as a result that was swapped out a few months back. I think it's from Motobat. It came as recommended on one of the forums, and to be fair on it, it's not let me down since. And just one final thing there's the auxiliary power switch for this auxiliary power here at the rear of the bike to control things like the sprayer. So that's just a quick walk around of the bike. The bike is obviously orange, it's been plasti dipped. You will have seen a lot of footage in terms of pictures on Instagram and Facebook if you do follow me on there. If you don't, links are going to be in the description, so please do give us a follow and a like on Facebook and Instagram. But yeah, plasti dipped. As one of the horses in the background gives his approval. The dip itself was supplied by Mad Pack, and it's a full dip product as well. So there you go, and of course the front guards there for your axles have been dipped as well in plasti dip neon yellow. So that's just a quick walk around of the bike. It's something I've been meaning to do for a while, but looking good. Loads of improvements. As always, projects never end. As I say, the back of the bike there on the rack will be explaining what's going on, and those in another video. But thank you for watching. Do subscribe if you like the video, and also make sure you like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. So that's it. Stay well, and I'll see you on the next video.